We're out here today. We're at beautiful Venice Marina, about to go rebuild the Green Monster Reef. This is an iconic old fishing hotspot that anglers of this area have fished for years and years. And 4 or 5 years ago, it was pulled from the water. The platform was removed, and it left a void in the habitat in this part of the delta. And so we started working on it years ago, even before the platform was removed, knowing that it was coming. And today we're going to take some recycled concrete material. We're going to fill it, load it onto barges, and we're going to take it out to drop in the water to build a brand new reef. The Green Monster was the name of the platform. The platform itself had kind of a green tint to it. It was a big, again, an iconic place that everybody in Venice fished at some point in their lifetime, including myself. And so it had kind of a green shade to it, and so I guess it became called the Green Monster. It's just what the locals called it, and so it seemed fitting to call the reef we're building today in its place the Green Monster Reef.
We're out here today in West Delta Block 24. This is our construction site for the newest artificial reef in our CCA habitat program. We're lowering these concrete structures down to the bottom to create habitat for the fisheries and replace structure that was lost when an old oil platform was removed from here. We have another site adjacent to this in West Delta Block 23, so there's actually 2 reef projects happening simultaneous today. And we're very excited to be here and see this come to fruition and see this habitat created. We're going to have barges with material on it. We're going to have cranes to unload it, tugs to push it all around. It's out on a site that's been pre-surveyed and permitted and ready for this construction. And we're going to see that today as the concrete's actually lowered to the water bottom. We're losing our natural habitat here in Louisiana through coastal erosion, through subsidence, and through removal of these oil and gas structures. So to replace that, these artificial reefs are critical so that we can maintain that balance of habitat that provides these homes for our fish and our destination for our fishermen to go to. So this is critically important to the sustainability and the conservation of our fisheries. The fish love them. Almost immediately they start populating these new reefs because of changes in currents and tides around them, and then the marine organisms start to populate these structures. A hard surface is what's needed for them to attach to. So the invertebrate plants and animals attach and create that marine ecosystem that harbors the bait fish, which attract our sport fish.
It's the Coastal Conservation Association of Louisiana. We spend all year, every day at the Capitol and on the coast, working for better fisheries management, building habitat, bringing awareness to the citizens of Louisiana about our conservation needs here across the state. Recreational fishing in Louisiana is a multi-billion-dollar business. It's part of our lifestyle. It's part of our culture. If it were to ever be damaged in any way, it would hurt Louisiana in a lot of ways. And so CCA sees ourselves as sort of the overseer of the recreational fishing resource here in Louisiana. If we all of a sudden start having problems with some of the marine species that we care about on our coast, then we've got other problems that come from that. Financial, cultural, etc. And so CCA's role is to make sure that our fisheries are being well managed, that we have plenty of habitat in order for the marine species to live, and that people have good and fair ability to go out and get these, enjoy these opportunities with their families.
Sport fishing is not only a huge economic impact to Louisiana, but it's part of our culture. Our hunting and fishing in here is why we're known as a sportsman's paradise. And we at CCA want to try to conserve that. We want to try to improve that and sustain that into the future.
I grew up fishing in South Louisiana. My family, my grandfather taught me how to fish, my uncles, my father. It was just part of our life, and I am doing the same with my children. Venice, Louisiana is on everyone's radar to fish around the world. The species, the catches, everything we have here is just fantastic. And the hospitality and seafood we have. It's a wonderful place to fish, and it is important to really Louisiana's culture because generations of kids, parents, grandparents grew up fishing here.
We've been fishing this area. I'm born and raised in Plaquemines Parish. I've fished Venice quite often. The Green Monster, I've probably been about 10 years ago last time I fished it, but since it's been pulled up, I mean, we're gonna be putting in some artificial material and hopefully get some stuff in there to reestablish the fishing. fishing in this area is awesome. I mean, the different species you can catch all in one trip, and the abundance of fish they have in the area. Just the generations of fishermen from passed down from my grandfather to my father to myself. Just fishing in Venice, Louisiana has been a tradition.
I've been chartering out of Venice for 17 years, out of the Empire, Port Sulphur, Venice area for 17 years. I can remember days where we'd go to the Green Monster in the late 80s, early 90s, and we used to, on a calm day, we could pull up underneath the platform and actually go down, and that was some tremendous fish in there. Speckled trout, just unbelievable. I mean, from 2.5, 3 pound trout, and every now and then you'd run into a 5.5 pound fish. But it was really easy, convenient to get to. I mean, out of Empire, it's 15-minute ride, and you're at the Monster. So really, really glad to see this come back. I think it's tremendous. We get people as far as Chicago, Illinois, a lot of people, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, and they come back. I mean, I got some clients I've been fishing with for 15, 16 years, and it's incredible. They fish all over the world, and Venice is a must for them.
We're providing the concrete for this project. Total, we've shipped 753 tons of product that's going to be barged out and put down for the reef. It's a really unique opportunity for us. We're excited to be able to provide this material. We have lots of our employees, lots of our customers are fishermen. We're a Louisiana-based company, so anything we can do to help the fishing habitat and help Louisiana, is makes us feel good. We enjoy doing that.
Louisiana Artificial Reef Program is within Wildlife and Fisheries. We ultimately will take the ownership and liability for the reef being created here. We're also a partner on funding and a lot of the planning and coordinating to create the site that's going in, figure out what the clearance needed to be, approve materials, and so on. CCA is a great partner. They're responsive to everything the state needs, which that can be a detailed list, but they always make sure that we get our reef sites done correctly, and that's exactly what we need.
We're in a time in Louisiana where we all know we're losing habitat at such an alarming rate, and that includes the removal of these oil and gas platforms. Marine reefs are some of the most abundant and prolific habitat on Earth, and yet we're losing them here in Louisiana at a very alarming rate through the removal of these platforms. And so CCA has created a program to try and either maintain that habitat in leaving the platforms in place or replace that habitat after it's lost. When you create new habitat, the Gulf of Mexico is very much a bowl. Doesn't have a lot of canyons and craters and a lot of relief out on the seafloor. And so when you create any kind of relief on the seafloor, it tends to attract life. When you attract the smaller bait type fish, then soon after that the bigger predator fish come, and of course that's the ones we like to catch. This is certainly about creating good places to go fish, but it's more about creating great habitat for our fisheries so that they'll remain abundant and prolific for generations to come.
We began our habitat program in 2002 with our first reef down in Terrebonne Parish, and since then we've had 27 different projects with over 30 reefs constructed. So we've committed to this statewide. Our reefs span from Slidell to Cameron Parish. We have 3 more reefs on the drawing board between now and July 1st, and 6 more that are going to happen next year as part of our ongoing habitat program.
I think it's awesome for the recreational anglers. It's going to bring a lot of healthy habitat back to the area and hopefully revitalize the old Green Monster Reef.
It's really exciting to see this product going down and knowing that it's going to be used for fish habitat and improve fisheries in Louisiana.
This is going to be such a fantastic reef for Louisiana, for the anglers in Venice, and for just recreational anglers. It's great for Plaquemines Parish and Louisiana. It is going to provide a close fishing spot for anglers for generations to come.
I think it's great. I think it's tremendous that they're doing this. I can remember when they took it down. I hated to see it go, but this is definitely a step in the right direction.
People should join CCA because it is really the only voice for recreational anglers in Louisiana. The CCA helps lawmakers write smart legislation. We preserve our marine resources, and we advocate conservation and habitat rebuilding. It's a great group, and I've met some dear friends by being a member of CCA Louisiana.
You go to joincca.org. For only $35, you can become a member for an entire year. You get all kinds of benefits that come along with your membership, but most of all, you get the peace of mind of knowing that your $35 is going to serve as a voice for the recreational community, serve as a voice for the marine resources that we work so hard to take care of.
And the website for more information?
Yeah, you can go to ccalouisiana.com. That'll lead you to our membership portal, but it'll also give you all the information you need, all the recent events that we've been doing, including the one we're here doing today.
This is just so exciting and so rewarding to see these projects come together. It's years in the planning to make this happen, and when we get to go out on the water and actually see the deployment of these structures and build this marine habitat, it's just very exciting.
We've been working on this for years. This was not just a project that we thought about last year. 6-7 years ago we started talking about the Green Monster. So to see it actually come to fruition, to see all the partners come together, and really through a tremendous amount of planning by volunteers and by our local chapters, to see it all actually happen is something we've been thinking about for a long time. So very excited and really looking forward to this being a great place for families and locals to enjoy for years to come.